Art 1. The program we never learned. 300,000 years ago, humans had no formal language, no maps, no training systems. Yet our ancestors still navigated, hunted, avoided predators, and survived. Their only tool, instinct. According to modern neuroscience, instincts are neural information processing systems encoded through evolution. They are not blind behaviors, but biological data, accumulated, filtered, and transmitted through genes. When a newborn grips an adult's finger, it's not learned behavior. It's the grasp reflex, an evolutionary trait inherited from tree-dwelling ancestors. This mechanism helped infants cling to their mothers in the wild. Those with the reflex survived. Those without it were removed from the gene pool. That is natural selection. Inside the human brain, instinctual responses are controlled by ancient structures like the amygdala, hippocampus, and thalamus. The amygdala detects danger and triggers fear. The hippocampus stores spatial memory, aiding navigation. These organs function before the neocortex, the center for abstract thinking, develops. Crucially, they require no language. For example, humans do not need to be taught to fear the dark. Fear of darkness is inherited. In prehistoric times, most predators were nocturnal. Individuals unaware of danger in the dark often died. As a result, discomfort in the dark remains, not because of superstition, but biology. Instincts do more than warn of danger. They regulate social behavior. Startled reactions, wariness of strangers, the sense of being watched. These are survival signals. They helped our ancestors make decisions in milliseconds. Flee or stay, trust or doubt, attack or retreat. The key, instinct, is not opposed to reason. In fact, reason can only exist because instincts kept individuals alive long enough to develop a thinking brain. An infant without the instinct to seek its mother's breast would die before learning language. Homo erectus without danger avoidance instincts would never live long enough to create tools. Put differently, every complex system of human thought, from language to ethics to philosophy, rests on the foundation of instinct. Without instinct, cognitive evolution would not have been possible. Today, when someone flinches at a loud noise, they don't think, they react. When a person feels something's off in a room, they don't need proof. The nervous system has already sent the signal. That's ancient instinct in action. A modern brain has a developed cortex, but at its core lie structures evolved millions of years ago. The civilized layer is only surface. Beneath it, the instinct machine still runs. Conclusion: instinct is a biological operating system. No language, no logic, but real and effective. It kept our ancestors alive in a ruthless world, and even today, in cities, under LED lights, amidst digital algorithms, we are still guided by ancient instincts that never left. We are not purely rational beings. We are products of evolved instinct. Art 2. When there's no time to think, survival or death. In the environment 300,000 years ago, reaction speed meant the difference between survival and elimination. There was no time to analyze, no priority for argument. Danger came from every direction: behind, below, above. A cracking branch, a flash of light, a shift in air pressure. React instantly or get attacked. Survival instinct is an unconscious reflex activated by the preconscious nervous system. It is faster than any rational decision. At the moment of threat, humans didn't use logic. They acted based on automatic warnings shaped by evolution. The limbic system, amygdala, hypothalamus, hippocampus, was central to this process. When exposed to sudden stimuli, the amygdala triggered emergency responses, increased heart rate, muscle contraction, adrenaline release. The hypothalamus regulated survival hormones. The hippocampus mapped spatial orientation. All within 150 milliseconds, faster than conscious reasoning. Ancestors had no alarm systems, but they could detect danger through environmental cues: sudden animal silence, shifting wind, unusual odors. Each signal was processed by the brain, not in words, but through instinct. Instinct wasn't just for fleeing, it coordinated entire strategies. evaluating threat levels, determining counterattack opportunities, or hiding and waiting. Over time, individuals with strong instinctual judgment, though not the strongest physically, were more likely to survive. Their traits were passed down. The elders in hunting groups were living data archives. They had faced death dozens of times. Their nervous systems responded finely to subtle signals. When they stopped moving, the whole group stopped. No explanation needed. Near-death experience guided behavior, not through reasoning, but through immediate warnings. Even in today's world, this system is active, reflexively avoiding an oncoming vehicle, jumping at someone behind you, feeling uneasy in a dark, eerily quiet room. These are not psychological flaws. They are normal operations of ancient survival systems still embedded in the brain. Gut feeling is the modern name for ancient instinct. Often dismissed today, it was once Homo sapiens' main navigation system. Without it, survival was nearly impossible. Prehistoric dangers came too fast for analysis. Our ancestors' bodies were optimal risk sensors. Eyes tracked peripheral motion. Ears analyzed abnormal sounds. Skin detected temperature and pressure changes. All processed instantly, not through words or logic, but instinct. Reflex speed, around 150 milliseconds. Rational thought, around 500 milliseconds. That can mean life or death. In a world where predators could strike anytime, a fast nervous system was a strategic advantage. Instinct is not obsolete. It is a pre-processing system, optimized for high-risk conditions. In many cases, it remains the only system fast enough to ensure survival. Though today's world has changed, the system remains. It governs social behavior, warns of threats, initiates responses during crisis, and often, instinct is right. Conclusion: Homo sapiens survived by reacting before thinking. Instinct was the first defense, and today, beneath our logic, it still operates, uninterrupted. Art 3. Social instincts, the human bonding system. 300,000 years ago, humans lived in small groups. There were no laws, no governance, no formal behavior controls. Yet groups maintained order, shared resources, protected offspring, and supported one another. The coordinating mechanism, social instinct. Social instincts are not based on reasoning, but are biological systems shaped over millions of years of evolution. They regulate cooperation, resource sharing, and responses to key social situations. Mother-child bonding is a prime example. There were no manuals, no training, yet prehistoric women instinctively kept infants close for warmth, calmed them when crying, and used water to reduce fever. These actions were programmed into the nervous system, not learned, but inherited. The instinct to protect offspring, even at personal risk, shows how social instincts can override self-preservation. This is adaptive behavior. Without defending the next generation, the group cannot persist. But social instincts extend far beyond the mother-child bond. They include multi-layered emotional systems: empathy, anger, gratitude, jealousy, trust. Each emotion plays a functional role in maintaining group stability. For example, anger at unfair treatment is a feedback mechanism to correct group-level resource distribution. Jealousy warns of losing a mate or social position. Gratitude reinforces long-term bonds. Empathy promotes caregiving, even toward non-kin. Neuroscience reveals, when a person sees another in pain, brain areas like the insula and anterior cingulate cortex activate as if they themselves are hurt. This proves empathy isn't taught. It's a built-in neural response. Social instincts also enforce norm compliance. Shame after breaking group rules is a mechanism to maintain social order. Without emotional responses, behavior wouldn't stabilize. Without reactions to betrayal, there would be no such thing as keeping promises. When a member is injured, helping them, despite resource cost, is prioritized. From an evolutionary view, this makes sense. The survivor may share knowledge, hunting skills, water sources, or escape paths. Losing one person could mean losing collective memory. Groups that cooperated, shared risk, and maintained loyalty had higher survival rates. As a result, social behaviors were encoded into genetic systems. Individuals lacking appropriate social instincts were isolated, eliminated, and left no descendants. Today, modern humans still carry these ancient social instincts. Emotional reactions to injustice, compassion for others' pain, discomfort when deceived, are not just modern cultural products. They are survival mechanisms dating back to prehistory. Emotions like love, hate, rivalry, or gratitude are not random. They are tools that helped Homo sapiens survive threats, maintain group cohesion, and protect genetic legacies. Important. Social instincts are not the same as morality. They are nervous system responses to social context, optimized for group survival. In harsh environments, such emotions determined whether a group thrived or collapsed. Conclusion: Homo sapiens could not survive alone in prehistory. Social emotions are evolutionary structures ensuring bonding, cooperation, and inner protection. Without social instinct, there is no community. Without community, there is no humanity. Part 4. Genetic memory. Unspoken data from our ancestors. Every human cell contains genetic material shaped by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. DNA encodes more than eye color, height, or bone structure. It also holds biological signals for behavior, reflexes, and emotions in the form of epigenetics. The concept of genetic memory doesn't mean personal memories. It refers to the transference of physiological and emotional response patterns across generations without altering DNA sequence. The mechanism is epigenetics, gene expression turned on or off by methylation without changing the code itself. A textbook example: mice shocked whenever they smell cherry blossoms pass on fear of that scent to grandchildren who have never been shocked. Trauma left a neural mark transmitted through reproductive cells. In humans, the Dutch hunger winter of 1944 to 1945 shows that children of mothers who experienced famine had higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and psychiatric disorders, even if born after the crisis. Notably, the effect also appeared in grandchildren. This suggests a real possibility. Our Homo sapiens ancestors who endured famine, cold, violence, migration, and extreme survival pressures left behind epigenetic modifications, increasing alertness, food hoarding, heightened noise sensitivity, passed down generations, phobias with no personal cause, fear of snakes, spiders, darkness may not arise from individual experience. Many modern people fear snakes despite never being bitten. Brain regions like the amygdala react within 200 to 300 milliseconds to dangerous animal images. Too fast for learned behavior. These are likely pre-programmed, epigenetic in origin. Epigenetics also affects social behavior. For instance, children of trauma survivors often face challenges in emotion regulation, anxiety, or hyperactivity. An ancestor's experience can leave a physiological imprint on descendants' nervous systems. Importantly, transmitting epigenetic memory doesn't require teaching or storytelling. It happens at the molecular level through gene methylation and re-expression in embryos. If harsh conditions persist, the genome adapts, and this change is replicated in offspring. This broadens the instinct concept. Instincts aren't just products of long-term selection, but also short-term, flexible adaptations triggered by context and temporarily passed on. A kind of learned instinct, without words. Result: some modern reactions, startling at loud sounds, anxiety in darkness, intense fear of abandonment, may stem from ancient epigenetic memory. The body doesn't remember the event, but responds as if it lived through it. If the genetic memory hypothesis is valid, then modern humans carry not only their ancestors' genes, but also unnamed neurological states, accumulated from hundreds of thousands of years of survival in chaotic environments. Conclusion: instincts arise not only from long-term evolution, but also from near-past experiences via epigenetic adjustment. This is a fast adaptation mechanism, biologically encoded and passed down without speech. We didn't start from zero. Every unconscious reaction, every emotion with no clear reason may be the biological echo of a forgotten era. If confirmed, epigenetic memory will be the strongest proof of the unbroken link between modern humans and our survival past. Art 5. Instinct still runs the biological legacy in the modern body. Modern humans live in artificial environments, cities, electric lights, digital devices. Yet the nervous system still runs on a foundation built hundreds of thousands of years ago. Instinctual structures haven't been erased, only overlaid with a veneer of civilization. Startling at a loud noise is proof. This isn't learned behavior. It's a neural alarm system designed to detect threats, once vital for Homo sapiens to spot predators. The nervous system triggers a defensive reflex before the conscious brain has time to analyze. Feeling pleasure when eating with others reflects a social bonding instinct. In hunter-gatherer conditions, group meals stabilized food sharing, reduced conflict, and increased survival chances. Today, this lives on in family dinners, weekend gatherings, and social meals. The uneasy feeling when meeting a stranger in a confined space is a leftover from threat detection systems. In the past, failing to distinguish between in-group and out-group individuals could be deadly. This warning system hasn't been switched off, even if our environment has changed. When humans face crises, accidents, natural disasters, violence, instincts kick in, adrenaline surges, risk evaluation activates, survival is prioritized. In these moments, reason steps back, instinct takes over. The system still works as designed, even if modern contexts differ from ancient ones. The phenomenon of gut feeling, an inexplicable sense of unease, is a product of ancient neural architecture. The brain processes microsignals from sound, light, facial cues, movement, and issues a warning. Regions like the amygdala and insula respond faster than the logical cortex and don't require language. Neuroscientific studies show the cortex, the seat of logic, processes information more slowly than the preconscious nervous system. In real-world situations, human behavior is often driven by ancient brain regions that control fear, social bonding, and emotional reflexes. Choosing a mate, sensing trustworthiness, or feeling unsafe isn't purely rational. These decisions are filtered first by inherited reflex patterns. Instincts serve as the first screening system, before thought even begins. From an evolutionary standpoint, instinct is not just reasonable, it's necessary. Rational analysis takes time. Instinct ensures immediate reaction to danger. It's an optimal structure for uncertain and high-risk environments. Today's world has no saber-toothed tigers, but the nervous system still scans for danger signals. When you feel uneasy, your heart races, or you want to leave a space, an ancient warning system may be activating. These alerts aren't logical. They're patterned on sensations encoded in the deep past. Social behaviors, like protecting children, clinging to the group, or fearing abandonment, also have biological roots. A baby crying when it can't see its mother isn't taught. An adult feeling lonely when separated from the group isn't a cultural invention. These are connection mechanisms, critical for survival in prehistory. Instinct is not a relic. It is the core layer of human behavior. Civilization is just the outer shell. When modern comforts, electricity, safety, stability are stripped away, instinct resumes full control. Conclusion: modern humans are not separate from evolutionary history. Our bodies and brains still run on biological software written 300,000 years ago. What seems like unconscious reaction is actually refined feedback, optimized by millions of years of selection. To understand human behavior today, we must look beneath the surface. Instinctive survival systems, ancient threat alerts, social reflexes. These are the forces that shaped how Homo sapiens endured the wild.